Good morning and welcome to all my friends and family, and thank you. Thank you once again for joining me for Jim's 5am Club. I'm coming to you this morning from Campbell's Cove. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. We've got a westerly breeze, a gentle southwesterly breeze, just fluttering those flags up there on the harbour bridge. And it's just pre-sunrise. Sunrise will be kicking off in about 5 minutes or so. There's a bit of cloud cover there low on the horizon, so it may spoil the sunrise, but we'll do our best today. Let's go for a walk and talk. And what I want to do is just continue my chat about a book summary that I've recently just read, entitled Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, who is a professional negotiator, professional contract negotiator, and he's giving his views and learnings on how to get the most out of your engagement and discussions and negotiations. And as I alluded to before, everything we do in life is a negotiation. We're all trying to convince people to do things that may not be of benefit to them, but may be of a benefit to us, or may be a benefit to both, but who knows. Anyway, let's kick off. And what I want to chat about now is Chris Voss talks about something which is very, very powerful. And he talks about the 7-38-55 rule, which sounds a bit complex and sounds a bit novel, but sometimes putting things in novel terms is a way of best remembering them, or at least making them interesting at least, and piquing our attention so that we can at least focus on it and hopefully remember it. So what's the 7-38-55 rule? Have you ever heard of this rule before? Well, apparently the 7-38-55 rule is some sort of thumb rule of thumb, which suggests that in communication, when we're communicating with people, 7% of the message is the words that we use, the words that we choose to use. Then 38% is the tone, the tonality that we use for those words. And the 55% in the 7-38-55 rule is all about body language. So for those people who are stiff and awkward, you've got to understand that your body language is giving you away. It's giving you away in your negotiations, your business negotiations. It's giving you away in your social engagements. It's giving you away in your love life, in your love negotiations. Because if you're awkward, if you're stiff in terms of nervous, then people are going to see through that and feel uncomfortable as well. So let's go back and go over those again, because it's really, really important to understand that communication is not about just blabbing your mouth. I have a lot of people that I know who think they're great communicators because they've got the gift of the gab, but the gift of the gab means nothing, because communication is words. Yes, you can chat away, but it's also tonality. How you use those words, how you emphasize those words, the comfort, the speed, the modality of your voice, how interesting you are to listen to. So it's words plus tonality, but most importantly, the most of the message, the meat of the message, the key to the message is your body language. Your body language is the key. So just remember that. You can be silent, you can say nothing, and your body language alone can be a huge contributor to communication and be massive in the way it influences the people around you. So become a student in your body language. Check yourself out. Pay attention to your body language. Read books on body language and become a master of body language. Because as we've said before, or as Chris Voss says very, very dramatically and very, very importantly in his book, that body language is the key to communication. And you can understand why that is so. Because as human beings, as partners in the animal kingdom, people look for clues in terms of what you mean, because we're surrounded by people who lie. We're surrounded by people who are charlatans. We're surrounded by people who are manipulators. So we need to have a way of deciphering the words, the tonality, and to do a sniff test or a pub check to see if what they're saying is congruent with their body language. We have people lying to us all the time through omission or through actual, verbal lying. And this is where Chris Voss in his book also helps out by trying to point out, in addition to the body language, you can spot the liar. And he talks about a thing called the Pinocchio effect. The Pinocchio effect. How funny is that? The Pinocchio effect. But according to this book, the Pinocchio effect basically is that the more words that somebody uses to describe something, the greater the chance of it being a lie. Because the words become more voluminous, and the nose of Pinocchio starts to grow as they try and convince you by throwing more words and being more complex in their sentences, and also talking in third-party third-party pronouns. When people start to talk about they, them, their, when people start to talk in third-party pronouns, use more words and use more complex sentences, then chances are they're BSing you. So be a detective of lying, be a detective of lies, be the Queen's Counsel, and make sure that you question people. I was in the car the other day taking my granddaughter for a drive, and she's 3 years of age now. She's at the age now where she starts to question everything. And everything I tell her, regardless of how much detail I give her and how clear I feel that my description is, she'll end it with the simple question, why? So everything I say, she'll just ask the question, why? Why? Which is a powerful lesson for me as a parent, or as a grandparent, and as a detective of lying, because all you have to do to a liar is just to ask them why, and just to get them to keep on talking, and eventually you will see that they don't make sense. And we all know that if you can't explain something in simple terms that are so simple that a young child can understand, then obviously you don't know what you're talking about, or you're lying. So take a point to question people. When I was a kid, I remember my mother would always say to me when I was answering questions, look me in the eye, because she would know that if I could not look her in the eye, then I was lying. And of course, whenever she said to me, look me in the eye and tell me the truth, I would break down and start smiling or whatever, and I would give it away so she would know that I was lying to her. So there we go. So there's a lot of homework there for everybody, especially the awkward people whose body language is stiff and awkward. You need to relax, you need to loosen up, and not through drugs, not through alcohol, but just to learn to be relaxed with yourself, because your body language is giving you away, and your body language is letting you down. Now let's be honest with each other. Now nobody wants to hang out with people who are awkward, socially awkward. So you need to loosen up, you need to relax, you need to take yourself less seriously and be a bit of a joker, a bit of a class clown, and to pay attention and to learn to read not only your body language, but to learn to read other people's body language, so that you can become an expert communicator. Anyway, that's about it. We've got the ferry there heading off to Manly. We've got the sun just struggling to rise there in the east behind the clouds. I can see a whole flotilla of kayaks over there, just near where the ferry is at the moment. And they're going on their morning little paddle, where they can get some beautiful selfies with the Harbour Bridge and Opera House in the background, as well as Fort Denison. And I'd love to do that one day. I think I've mentioned it a few times. So let's finish up with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I'm well, I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant. And most importantly, let's take some lessons out of Chris Voss's book, Don't Split the Difference, or Never Split the Difference, and learn to observe not only our body language, but also to those around us, and to be aware that we need to be congruent with what we're saying in terms of the words, and to be as animated as possible. Learn to become animated with your language, so that your tonality becomes convincing, and that you match it up and marry it up with the congruent body language, so that the package, the communication package, the message of words, tonality and body language are convincing, so that you can get your the person who you're negotiating with to meet you at yes, and not to continually bombard you with no. Anyway, thanks very much once again for joining me on this journey of discovery on Jim's 5am Club. And tomorrow morning I'll come to you from another location, and hopefully with another message, either a book summary, an experience, or just an observation for us to talk about, to chat about, and to mull over, so that we grow and develop and become better at dealing and navigating each and every day. Yassas, take care from Jim's 5am Club, And until we meet again, I bid you all the very best. Naisas Tekala and Yasas.